that's where I cut my teeth, in a small hospital, 310 beds, I believe, merging with a larger hospital and becoming part of a much larger facility in the heart of downtown Minneapolis. So I got very active in community affairs. I went on to be a national vice president for the JCs. I was in a national officer for 4 years, and that gave me a chance to see, my portfolio area was all of the communities in the United States with over 100,000 population. And at that time there were about, I think, 168 communities that had more than 100,000 people. And so I traveled to all of them during the 4 years that I was in those offices, and became very interested in how communities work, how you connect people in communities. I'm sitting here thinking, we've got all of these huge hospitals in downtown Minneapolis, and we have these very severe problems in the Native American population. Same thing on with the African American community, the north side of Minneapolis, where people right inside of a very close area where there was adequate health care available, because of the way we thought about our role in life, or the way we thought. Hospitals in Minneapolis were very competitive, and we had to fight all the time. So marketing was my job. I was to figure out how to recruit doctors, how to get them the technology they needed so that we could take patients from other hospitals and do all that. And at some point, when you're traveling around the country and looking at all these different communities, and you're seeing communities that are successful and those that aren't, and then you start to look at what's the difference. So in the early part of my career, that first 10 years, I'm watching all of this, and basically came to the conclusion that healthcare leaders have an extremely important role in improving the health of communities, and that running the hospital and taking care of sick people, while it's important, it's not the main thing. I began to think about my career going forward in the area of broad-based community leadership, using the hospital as the base of operation, but devoting my time to somehow integrating and collaborating and cooperating with anybody else in the community that was concerned with improving the economic vitality of the community, the health and prosperity of people, that kind of thing. So when I left Minneapolis, after 10 years, I went to Rochester, New York, and became president, my first CEO's job. I think I was 33 at the time, and I was asked to become CEO of Park Ridge with the objective of attempting to put Park Ridge, St. Mary's, and Highland Hospital together in some kind of a group. The members of the board that I interviewed with seemed very committed to trying to do the right thing for the community. About that same time, I was invited to become a board member of Rochester Blue Cross Insurance Company. It was my first time being exposed to the financing of healthcare. When I saw the data that insurance companies had available, I'm going, my goodness, if that data could be available to doctors and hospitals, and that we all shared it openly, I think we'd all be a lot better off. The Rochester business community, very strong business community, Kodak, Xerox, Bausch & Lomb, others, and Rochester had always had a history of its business community providing leadership, whether it was the arts, education, and they basically said, look, we have got to find a way to make sure that we have a secure healthcare system, because we know that we're not going to be able to attract employees and leadership to this community unless we have a good healthcare system. And the Rochester Area Hospitals Corporation developed what was called the Hospital Experimental Payment Demonstration Project, the HEP experiment. And the HEP experiment turned out to be extremely successful financially for the hospitals. But all the time, what I'm learning is the value of collaboration, the transparency of data, and not just collaboration, by the way, between hospitals and doctors, but between and the financing, but with the business leaders.